Adjustment in balance of payments, policy issues. So there are two ways broadly for adjusting the BOP disequilibrium. First one is automatic measures, second one is policy measures. Policy measures are the deliberate measures. Policy measures are policy issues that are the deliberate measures being adopted by the governments to bring back the balance of payment equilibrium. There are three policy measures or deliberate measures. First one is expenditure changing policy. Second one is expenditure switching policy and exchange control measures. So these three are the well-known deliberate measures for the balance of payment adjustment by the government. So under the expenditure changing policy, monetary and fiscal policies are applied to regain the balance of payment. Uh, so deliberate measures are three: expenditure changing policy, switching policy, and exchange control measures. So under the expenditure changing policy for BOP adjustment, two policies are applied normally: monetary policy and fiscal policy. So through monetary policy, balance of payment equilibrium is possible through changes in money supply and changes in rate of interest. So that will bring back the balance of payment equilibrium. And through using fiscal policy, government is able to supposed to be able to bring back the BOP equilibrium through changes in government expenditure and government revenue, especially taxation. So fiscal policy and BOP adjustment. So that's the first content we are going to look at this video. So let's assume here that initially the economy is in equilibrium. Economy is having all the equilibrium, especially internal balance as well as external balance are possible initially, supposed to be possible initially in the economy. So that is a point where goods market, money market, and also balance of payment are in equilibrium. So that means internal economy is in balance and external sector is also in balance. And you may be aware of the ISLMBP framework, where goods market, money market, and balance of payment are in equilibrium. That means internal balance as well as external balance are possible at the point of equilibrium, shown by the ISLM BP framework. So let's have a look at the ISLM BP model. This is only the derived ISLM BP curves. IS curve is initially as I said, initially the economy is in balance at point E, where IS curve, LM curve, and BP curve are intersecting each other. So that's the initial point of goods market, money market, and balance of payment equilibrium. So that's a point in which rate of interest is R star and level of real income is Y star. So that's the combination of that IS and IS, LM, and BP schedule at that point. But due to some impact in the economy, due to some impact government expenditure is increasing. So due to the impact of increase in government expenditure, so that's mostly autonomous in nature. It does not depend mostly on the rate of interest. Whatever may be the rate of interest, government expenditure increases. So IS curve shifted to the rightward from IS to IS dash. So new equilibrium is possible at point G, but at that point balance of payment equilibrium is lacking. So only internal balance was possible at point G, where LM curve is intersecting at point IS dash curve. That is a newly derived IS curve, shifted IS curve, IS dash. So that is intersecting at point that is intersecting LM curve at point G, but government expenditure is but due to the impact of the fiscal policy, government expenditure, and its impact on the external balance, the balance of payment LM curve is also shifted to the right. So now the IS curve, LM curve, and BP curve are intersecting at point H. So that at that point both internal as well as external balance are possible. Now we are going to explain how is it possible, how was that possible due to the impact of different policy measures. Suppose the disturbance in the balance of payment happens in the form of deficit. That means the payments exceed the receipts. International payments exceed international receipts. So then that means the economy, the government is experiencing balance of payment deficit. So in order to address the balance of payment deficit, the government expenditure increases. Government starts increasing the expenditure. G stands for government expenditure in the slide in the presentation. So government expenditure increases. So that leads to increase in income. Depends on the multiplier value. It has a multiplier effect on the economy. So income increases. That means the import of the economy, import of the country increases. As import is a function of income, income rises, import rises. That's a normal process, theoretical. That's the theoretical relation between income and import. So income increases, import increases. So when income is increasing, that means the deficit is created on the current account. So sir, current account balance will be in the negative form. So that is a BOP deficit. So that kind of the severity of the deficit in the current account depends on the marginal propensity to import. So balance of payment surplus is also possible. That means the international receipts may exceed international payment in some situations. So that situation will be will arise due to the impact of the some shock or some changes in the economy. So that means government expenditure increases. So when government expenditure is increasing, rate of interest is also increasing. As increase in government expenditure, which is mostly financed by borrowing from the market, so that creates shortage for the shortage of fund for the private investment. So when government expenditure is increasing by increasing through increase in public borrowing, so that leads to decline in the availability of fund for private investment. So due to the shortage of fund for private investment, rate of interest rises. So rate of interest rising, rise in rate of interest will attract capital inflow. More capital will come into the economy to after being attracted by higher rate of interest than the foreign economies. So when rate of interest is increasing means increase in rate of return. So that means more capital, more investment will come into the economy to get the higher rate of interest. So that means capital account surplus will be created. It also depends on the several other factors like interest elasticity of capital flow. So when interest elasticity of capital flow is greater, so that means lower changes in rate of interest will lead to higher changes in higher inflow of capital. And when interest elasticity of capital flow is lower, then even the higher changes in rate of interest will only bag smaller changes in level of investment. Government expenditure has some effect on the balance of payment. So there are two effects possible for the government expenditure on the balance of payment in tandem. So at the same time, two kinds of effects are possible. One is increase in rate of interest, and income growth of income on the other hand. So both changes happen in the economy due to the impact of the government expenditure. Both rate of interest rises and the level of income also rises. So both indicators will be increasing. So increase in rate of interest leads to capital inflow. More investment will come into the economy to attract after being attracted by higher rate of interest. So that's one impact. Then second one is due to the impact of the increase in income in the economy, import will also import will be increased. So both current account deficit and capital account surplus is possible through changes in government expenditure. So finally, balance of payment will be in equilibrium due to the capital account surplus and current account deficit corrected by capital account surplus. So this is the impact of government expenditure on balance of payment adjustment. Specifically, this is the impact of increase in government expenditure on balance of payment equilibrium. In short, increase in government expenditure, increase in rate of interest, and also increase in income. When rate of interest is increasing, capital inflow or more foreign investment will come into the economy, and then increase in income leads to increase in import. So both current account and capital account disequilibrium in the form of current account deficit on the one hand and capital account surplus on the other hand. So this is the impact of increase in government expenditure. Now let's look at the uh, fall in government expenditure. Before that, the final outcome of changes in government expenditure on balance of payment equilibrium depends on the strength and weakness of current account deficit and capital account surplus. So if current account deficit is stronger than the capital account surplus, overall balance of payment will be in disequilibrium, will be having deficit. At the same time, when capital account surplus is stronger, then the economy will have the balance of payment surplus. So when both are equally strong, then balance of payment equilibrium will be possible. So then let's look at the effect of fall in government expenditure on the balance of payment. So when government expenditure is falling, income in the economy's income falls, interest rate reduces as the availability of fund for private investment rises when government is reducing its expenditure through cutting down the borrowing. So then that means rate of interest reduces and income is also reducing. That means when import when income is reducing, import will be reduced. That means capital account surplus will be the ideal result, or capital account deficit will comes down. Otherwise, current accounts deficit will comes down, or current account surplus will be emerged. Similarly, when rate of interest is reducing due to the impact of fall in government expenditure, capital outflow will be the result. Capital outflow takes the form of outward foreign investment, especially outward foreign direct investment. So capital account deficit will be emerged. That means the current account surplus corrected by capital account deficit. So this creates the this brings back the balance of payment equilibrium. So this is the impact of expenditure. This is the impact of fiscal policy on balance of payment adjustment. So this is part of the expenditure changing policy.